Honestly, I'm going to reveal all my secrets right now, but I really don't care.
It's not my right because I'm her mother to just blast her face everywhere.
And I said, you're a meanie pants.
I think just like a life lesson is that a lot of what people say, especially if it's hurtful, is it's reflective.
Bullies don't love themselves.
You are not responsible for how someone perceives your life, your post, your happiness. Today's episode, we're talking about something that feels subtle, but it's shaping how women and young girls see themselves every single day, and that's social media comparison. From body comparison to life comparison to motherhood comparison, we're living in a world where we're constantly exposed to curated, filtered, and optimized versions of everyone else's lives. And while it might seem harmless, the research is clear. Comparison culture is impacting self-esteem, body image, anxiety levels, and even how young girls develop their identity. As women, and especially as a mother of a daughter, we have to ask ourselves, what are we modeling? What are we normalizing? And how do we protect the next generation without living in fear? Today, we're diving into all of it, the psychology, the risks, and the practical ways we can create healthier environments for ourselves and our girls. Let's get into it. So, Elle, have you ever felt like you've had to compare yourself, or have you ever found yourself comparing your current reality to like someone else's that you follow on social media?
Yes, I actually just did right before we jumped on here because social media just pissed me off so much because I'm trying to figure it out with our new Instagram, which everyone go follow our new Instagram and follow us on TikTok, because I'm really trying with the social media, and I just compared myself to Kaylin because she seems to know how to do all of it.
Let's See a podcast, by the way.
Yeah, everyone go follow, please, and tell me I'm doing a good job.
We need a little motivation booster here.
I need just a bit of support, please.
That's actually a really great example, is whatever it is that we're comparing ourselves to, one, we have to ask ourselves, like, is this even real or is it being like fake? Which I think right now, and it's amazing, everyone is valuing, for the most part, probably 99.9% of people are valuing authenticity and less curated things. Like, we want to see the real life, we want to see the messy, we want to see the authentic, the transparent, the vulnerable, because that's what we connect to as humans. But what we forget is that I've been posting on social media for the last 5 years. Of course, I'm going to be better at it than you are. You haven't. And I'm at a point now where I actually enjoy creating stuff on social media. I used to hate making any type of post. And that was back when, am I dating myself? Reels were coming out and gaining traction. And it was like the only way to grow. You have to create reels. I hated reels. I didn't want to be on video. So you have to remember that, sometimes the person that you're comparing yourself to has been doing it a lot longer than what you have. And simply sitting there comparing yourself to them, if we're going to go on like a snowflake fairness tangent, it's not fair to you to compare yourself to someone who's been doing it for so much longer. I think the age that we grew up in, like, it wasn't the social media necessarily that was affecting the way we viewed our body as we grew up, but we of course were aware of our bodies a lot earlier than probably our parents were.
Yeah. I think social media definitely played a big role too on because you see this next generation that has always had social media. And I know I know a lot of people have said it, but I truly see it because my brother-in-law is 16, so I follow his girlfriend and I see some of her friends and all that kind of stuff. They don't have an awkward stage at all. And I think it's because of social media.
Shame on them.
No, literally shame on them. But no, her and all of her friends are absolutely gorgeous at 15, 16. And I'm like, oh my God. I think where we didn't have that social media in middle school and all that kind of stuff, where they did, is I know I learned a lot of about makeup and a little about hair and skincare and things like that, mostly through high school and college, because that's when I was a lot of times on social media or on things like YouTube. And I feel like that's when all that kind of started to blow up, and they've just always had that. But then with that being said, they've always had that comparison aspect as well.
And I think sometimes it has a positive role because obviously, and we talk about this all the time, like making sure that young women have a good role model to help them learn how to put themselves together and just amplify their beauty and just hygiene kind of stuff, do their hair, do their makeup, those kinds of things. But then it leads into that comparison. And I feel like that also leaks outside of just like how you look, how you put yourself together. Like once you're getting older, that's into, how you're cooking your meals, that's leading into your marriage, that's leading into how you keep your house together, how clean it is, how pristine it looks, how you mother your children. Like that, again, it's just a way that is amplified through social media, which I don't think is bad, but I also don't feel like a lot of women look at that stuff and think, oh, I'm doing great. My house is pristine. There's never any dust or dirt or anything. And then we kind of internalize that as like something's wrong with us. Why can't we figure out how to do this? And honestly, a lot of the curated things that you see on social media, they probably have a house cleaner. So going back to it's not fair for you to compare yourself to them. Like, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know if they are just posting the highlight reels and they're actually like really depressed right now. Like there are so many things that you don't know when you see things on social media.
No, specifically with my Instagram, I almost think of my Instagram as like my scrapbook, to where I don't run any sort of business through my own personal Instagram. So it's all just kind of like traveling pictures or wedding pictures or things like that, to where I don't feel the need to really post day to day things. So no one really knows my day to day on Instagram.
Yeah. And probably people that are like seeing your posts that don't really like talk to you day to day or keep up with you often, they might look at your Instagram and think, oh my God, she just travels all the time. Like, I wish I could do that. Like, I'm broke. I wish I wasn't like, and that can kind of weigh on them as like, man, I suck. And then you internalize that, you're negative about that. That drives your thoughts, your actions, and just your mood really is like, why am I not good enough? Why do I not have that money? Why can she do that and I can't? And there's no good coming from that. So I think we need to take what we are seeing on social media as like a little bit of a grain of salt. Like, it's not all sunshine, butterflies, and rainbows. Because like you said, for example, last episode, maybe it was the one before, I think it was last episode, you talked about how, you're going through what you typically do. It's an improvement of a season, but like sometimes you're just sad. You're not going to post that on social media. People aren't going to see that. Obviously you were vulnerable enough to speak about that on the podcast, but like people aren't seeing that on your social media feed.
Definitely not. And plus, too, I think what people forget as well, which I love when I see a lot of fitness creators do it, of like the reality versus the uh, picture I posted. You know what I mean? Where
Like with
it's
their
like them.
bodies.
Yeah, like where it's them like flexed and standing a certain way in the mirror and the lighting is like changed and then it's like a different reality. I feel like that is also what everyone does. For reference, I was just looking through my pictures in Greece. There's one specific picture where I am very posed in front of this temple with a glass of wine. I think we were late for dinner. I was holding my husband at gunpoint to get these pictures, and I don't even think I drank that glass of wine. But
That's
gorgeous
hilarious.
picture. Yeah, but just to give you a reference, to scroll a little bit more, there's a picture of me like up in the mountains on like kind of like a hike in like Greece. And I was almost in tears at the thought of going back down that mountain. But I have this nice little picture of me enjoying being up there in the mountains. So, like, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes of Instagram.
I think next time you post pictures like that, you need to like give us the background on like what was actually going on in that point in time when the pictures were being taken. Like I think that would just be hilarious. If you like
I
put the curated picture and then a swipe with like a blacked out kind of like screen, and it's like what was really going on behind the scene.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because you really don't know. Like, I think that's what's so funny. And like, I think too is people don't realize with Instagram, or they do, because I feel like most people do it, is like I am intentionally taking these pictures with the thought of Instagram in mind. Like, I'm not, this isn't my experience that I had.
Right.
Like,
It's
if
not
you
like
wanted,
a for the memes. Like I've been taking pictures and I'm like just for the memes, and it's like a point 0.5 picture and like super just not aesthetic at all.
exactly. And I have like videos of stuff for the memes, or like um the silly pictures, or the pictures of the food and like things like that, and just for the memories. But the pictures of like me in front of like this building that's gorgeous and I'm posed and I have the outfit, and that's not for the memories. That's for the Instagram.
Mhm.
I'll say it. And there's like
Everyone go back
30
and
of
look at
them.
Ellie's pictures now.
Oh my God. Everyone go back and look at my pictures. It's actually, I wish I could do a whole episode and go through all my pictures. Even if you go look at all the bachelorette pictures, you do not understand how long we posed and stood, and different angles and different cameras. And like, but
Specifically the sunflower ones as the storm was
specifically,
approaching.
it was about to thunderstorm on
Like the
us.
sky was black.
The sky was absolutely black.
The
But I
wind
was
was
like,
nuts.
but can I tell you, those pictures are stunning. And I want those pictures because I want to look back, and I want to like look back and be like, oh my gosh, like look at me and all my friends, and how, look at, we were on theme. But I can't actually say anything, because I was going to say, I feel like a lot of times you see those bachelorette trips and then you don't know the drama that went down or happened, but I had the most perfect bachelorette trip.
There was no drama.
You see the pictures and you said that looks like a perfect bachelorette trip, and it was.
It was.
And it really
Exactly what
was.
you saw is what it was.
Is what it was. The pictures, I think, don't actually even do it justice. But I really
Those are the
try.
best pictures though.
Yes. Well, I think that's what happens a lot of times with social media too, is the pictures don't do it justice in either a good way or a bad way.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see someone's pictures and you don't know, they could have like went and cried, or they could have had the best day of their lives after that, and you really don't know.
Hmm. And I think that is controlled a lot by who we choose to follow in one extreme or another. Like you said, is like we could have the extreme, like, I'm going to use body positivity as an example because you might follow someone who is extreme, like, love your body as it is. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you're perfect just the way you are. And then you've also got the, maybe doing burn boot camps and cycling classes 7 days a week for 5 hours every day. And like, those are just two extremes. And like, you see that over and over and over again. And you start to think that that's normal. A lot of people might look at that and either think like, I don't have time to work out that often, or I don't have time to, like, I don't know, work on the woo woo stuff, we'll say. Because like that kind of adds like another thing to the checklist almost. But I feel like not taking care of yourself is also something that is a choice and takes time as well. Because like, if you're not spending time taking care of yourself, like, what are you spending time on? But also, like, if you want to take it to like food stuff or nutrition stuff, like there's a lot of Instagram pages that are posting these like beautiful plated, very aesthetic meals. And you're sitting over there thinking, well, I don't have the time to make a plate look that beautiful, so I'm just gonna order takeout. And those things, like, it can lead you to either be inspired or be discouraged of like, oh my gosh, I could never do that. And that's where I think social media can be a blessing and a curse at times.
It's so funny that you bring up about the plated foods because especially in the summer when like fruits are like fresh and things are fresh, I tend to take a lot of pictures of my dinners and I should start taking pictures of my dinners versus Will's dinners. Cause like his sauce is running and this is in this and touching this, but mine is like perfect. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture of this. If I was just eating it, I probably wouldn't be as perfect.
Yeah. Well, I'm imagining too, like your dinners right now, it's just like a sad sweet potato, a pile of beef and beans.
Yeah, I would up it. I would make it more colorful. And then honestly, I'm going to reveal all my secrets right now, but I really don't care. I would take the picture. I try and get good lighting and all that kind of stuff, but then I would maybe just bump the vibrance up just a smidge to make it look a little bit more colorful, which all of your health creators, that's what
They
they're
probably
doing.
do.
Yeah. So I'm not like doing anything out of the ordinary now, but like yeah, it's the strawberry's not that red.
Exactly. But I think that just further proves the point is like what you're seeing might not be what's exactly in front of that person's face because it's been normalized to touch up and edit these pictures even just slightly to make them look more enticing. Which again, nothing wrong with that, but that's what's been created to be normal.
Yes.
And then
And
we're comparing our what's in front of our eyes to something that's been normalized that isn't reality.
mhm. Yes, and I think where people feel extremely discouraged are the big influencers, specifically in health and wellness and things like that, where they just seem to have this perfect wellness routine and they have like gorgeous areas to do a little bit of yoga in the morning and they film it and like there's perfect lighting and then they have their gorgeous extremely green matcha next to them and do you know what I mean? And it's like they've practiced setting up that filming situation. They've practiced exactly how to edit that video so that way it's more appealing to your eye, so that way it does better on their page. Like, if you take, oh my gosh, if I took a video of myself right now doing yoga in my living room with a matcha next to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, I don't really look like that.
As you're talking
So,
about that, I'm thinking about all of the Pilates videos that I've been watching and doing on YouTube when I'm like not wanting to do strength training. I'm like the palm trees, the sun, the cute set that she's wearing, like how fit she looks. I'm like, I ain't looking like that.
but like, that's okay. That's not the point. It's
Right.
these health creators and things like that. They have the right aspect of like trying to help and show you what they're doing to help and all that kind of stuff, but like they've perfected it in a perfect way that makes you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like
And
they're
strive
probably
for
not
perfection.
yeah, they're probably not doing that perfect way. Um I don't mean to like keep bringing this back to me, but it's the only way I know how to like necessarily relate is on TikTok. I do like singing car karaoke videos. And I'll be honest, on my way there, on my way to work, I like do my makeup and all that kind of stuff and set up my phone and I've perfected how to do that. I perfected what settings to film on, things like that. And then I never listen to a full song. I have
Mm-hmm.
like a carefully curated playlist that I go off of. I get the chorus and then I swap to the next song whether I want to listen to that song or not. Like it's all like kind of fake.
Right. Like, it's not
Like,
like you're just recording your whole drive and then you clip pieces of it.
yeah, it's not like, "Oh, this camera just happened to catch me." Like, I know the camera's there. I set it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all I think we forget with social media too. We think we're just looking into people's lives and like they almost don't realize we're looking into people's lives. I think that's how we kind of like make like friendships with people through social media, non like in our mind because we feel we know them so well because they're sharing their lives, but they're carefully curating how they're sharing what they're sharing with you, even if we think they're not.
Yeah. And I think that's interesting. I think sharing my life has become harder since I've become
Mhm.
a mom because I don't want to show Josie's face. And that's one of the ways that I'm protecting her and helping her with this age
Mhm.
of social media is like, that's her identity. It's not my right because I'm her mother to just blast her face everywhere. And some people think that, like, that is, and that's fine. I'm not judging anyone for it. This is just a decision that we made and a step to protect her identity. When she has a say, she can do what she wants. I mean, within reason. But all of that to say, like, it's hard for me to share. I want to share, but it's hard for me to share because there's an extra step now when it goes to posting. Like, do I have to go to my separate app, put the blur on her face, make sure it tracks perfectly that, her face doesn't slip out of the blur? Like, that puts a little bit more resistance to that. So, do I feel like I share in the depths of my life? No, absolutely not. But I'm posting all the time. People might feel like they know me. I have no clue. They might feel like they know me. I feel like being completely transparent, I was just telling you, Ellie, I had my teeth cleaned on Monday. Now the stains are off of my teeth. I feel like there's nothing holding me back now from talking on my stories. But the past few months, I felt very self conscious about the stains that were on my teeth. And I found myself not going on my stories as much, not posting like talking head videos because I didn't want people to see that, you know?
Well, with that too, I guess we can go into a little bit of like the hatefulness that comes with social media, not so much from yourself to yourself, but from others to yourself. And the blur is like what brought us around to it because you actually had a TikTok that you posted when you blurred Josie's face and you got absolutely attacked in the comments.
And like, for what reason? Like, I smile because I'm like, for what reason did I get all of that hate?
Yes. And just a little context for everyone. She posted a TikTok with blurs on Josie's face, and she said something along the lines of real pain is having like the cutest daughter and not being able to share her face on social media. Something like that. And anyone that knows Kaylin, which we were just saying, no one really truly knows you through social media. So you have to be aware of that as well. But anyone that knows Kaylin knows that's not actually real pain.
No.
Like she's joking. Like she's making
But
a joke.
of course, people see that don't know me. All of these strangers. I have 20, I think almost 1,000 views on this video. And people are like, girl, you don't know real pain. It's like, thank you. You're the 45th person to have commented that on this video. I am aware.
Yes. And it also like to me it just really magnified the dangers of social media as well with kids and with showing their face because there were so many comments, which this is just so icky. There were so many comments on that video of like people don't care about her face. Like you one video she had her like little tootsers in and they were like the people just want to see that sometimes. And I'm just like, you guys are so proving her point, but you're
Yep.
doing it in such a hateful way.
And there was another one, and I obviously didn't respond to this. I think it was a female. I saw it in the notifications. I never actually like looked into it on the post. I'm assuming it was a female that posted this because so many people were like saying, it's not their face, like they use the other things too, all of these things. And I'm like, she was fully clothed, like pants. Maybe the most that stuck out was like her hands or her feet and her neck. Like, my job is to protect her, and I'm protecting her because I don't care what all the other weirdos are going to do. What I know that they're not going to do is use her identity. They're not going to steal her identity. They're not going to create any AI, whatever nasty nonsense they want to create because I'm protecting her by not posting her. And if someone else wants to do something weird, that's on them because I can guarantee you there is more content of children on like a Carter's website or even in Walmart. There are pictures of children all over the place, all over the internet, all over anything that's related to kids that you're going to get a lot more from if you're really looking to get stuff for free from that than there is from my video of my blurred faced daughter. Like, there is just, it blew my mind that there could be almost 300 comments on this video of me posting that I'm just protecting my daughter.
Yes. And a lot of the comments were very hurtful and saying like you were a bad mom,
Hmm.
which is absolutely insane to me that
They were saying that I
people
was
would
using her for views by posting that.
like it it drives me crazy. And I think that's another very hard thing with social media and why even you were saying the stains on your teeth, like you never know what you're going to get from it, and it's digital footprint. It's not really ever going to go away.
Hmm.
So I think that's also very scary for young girls, one, and then also just anyone on social media. You never know really where that's going to go, and that could just follow you like forever.
Hmm.
In all reality, you could walk into like a job interview and they could pull up your TikTok and be like, I really hated this TikTok, so you're not getting hired on the blurred face situation. And it's like, what? Like, people need to realize this will follow you everywhere. But I think the sad part is like the hate doesn't follow the person that's hateful.
Hmm.
Like, you can't walk into a job interview and they'll be like, you actually commented on 500 TikToks saying how much you hate them, and that's weird.
That is a great point.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like, you can see what they've posted to their feed, but you can't see their activity, like if you were to search someone.
Exactly.
Let's change
And I think
that.
I think people take advantage of that for sure.
Hmm. They're like the little cyber warriors. But when you were saying about like people looking at social media for like a hiring, I guarantee our father is doing that when he hires people, like just searching them on social
100%.
media.
I think
Plain and
everyone does
simple.
that.
They
Like
should.
when I even as a hairstylist, like she knew my Instagram and my work through my Instagram. I'm sure she knew my personal Instagram as well before I was even hired, and I can guarantee you so did all the girls in the salon. Cuz I know whenever
Hmm.
we're looking to like hire someone new, the first thing is we'll pull up our Instagram.
Hmm.
Like personal, business one, pull up the Facebook, like let's see all the things. Like it matters how you interact with people online now.
Hmm. It's definitely very telling of a person,
Mhm.
whether it's their curated version or just how they communicate with other people, for sure.
Yeah. Now, how do you personally deal with like internet hate mentally and all that kind of stuff?
So I think that's a great question because I was kind of thinking about that when you had brought up the hate and everything. And if you were to ask me that question, we'll say 10 years ago, as I'm in high school, whatever, I probably would have taken a lot of offense to that. I would have been very upset about that. I would have started like reflecting on myself internally. But I feel like, one, because I'm older, I've matured, I'm an adult now, and I'm also pretty secure in who I am and my identity now. It doesn't bother me at all. I actually find it as within reason. I mean, on that video, there were some like concerning comments where it's like, are you okay? Like, you should probably get some help. But for the most part, I almost find it like entertaining. Like, please engage with me. Let's argue if you want to do that. If I've got the time for it and I think it's funny, like, let's keep it going. And that's just me personally. That's my humor.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're just raising the engagement on your video
Which
to
is
where more
great. Like,
people see it.
please,
Yeah,
please.
go ahead.
Let's see how far it'll go. But I think what's interesting, because obviously I've had some videos like that do get hate, but honestly, like, I don't get it often. But what I think is really interesting, and we've talked about like your TikToks and whatnot, like, you haven't found that anyone has had anything negative to say about you, which I think is great, but like almost impressive.
I I am a little impressed as well. Maybe humanity is doing okay. I recently did have a little bit of hate, nothing crazy. They commented on one of my videos and they said like I don't even remember who the singer was, but they said the singer gets paid a lot of money to sing that, so you don't have to. And I said, "Ooh." I said, "That's not very nice." That's what I commented back. And then they commented on another one of my videos and they said, "Ellie, we've already talked about this on your previous video." And I said, "You're a meanie pants."
And that's what you commented back to them.
So that's how I deal with hate. I just say,
But
"You're
I think
mean."
what I like about like just your tactic, your response is like, you don't try to like throw hate back to them. You don't try to argue.
No.
You almost take like, and this is, I'm not saying this in a negative way, like you almost make it childlike of like you simplify it
'Cause
so much and you're like, that's silly.
it is childlike. Like,
Yeah.
you took time out of your day to say that. Like, that's like bully meanie pants behavior. And I
And
will
I'm
treat
going
it
to call
as
you out.
such. Yeah. Like, how embarrassing. Like, you had hatred in your heart and had the time to tend to that hatred.
Hmm.
Like, that's just so shameful. On me singing little videos in my car. Like,
It's not like you're trying
I'm
to win America's Got Talent.
yeah. So if you comment mean things on my TikTok, I'm just gonna say you're like a meanie pants.
The next
Sorry.
time you should say, I've contacted your employer.
No, like literally. I wish you could. I
Some
wish you
people
could.
have. Some people have gone to the extremes. I've seen it, no specific example, but I've seen people like that have been incredibly mean and they go out and they like contact their employer and send screenshots of like the nasty things that have been said.
Which I think that's not like sometimes I think that gets a little out of hand. Like I just think people just be nice. Like if you have something nice to say, comment it. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
And what's crazy is I think we learned that before we could talk.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's childlike behavior. So I'm just going to say you're such a meanie pants, sir, who's probably 40. Like
And living in their mom's basement.
I know, you're weird. You don't even have a profile picture. Like, you know, like little things like that. But other than that, no, I've been very grateful and thankful. I haven't had really any kind of hatred on any of my TikToks. And I think what helps too is take comments in a positive way
Mhm.
and not think too much into it. Because sometimes people will comment a bunch of like laughing faces, and I could in my mind internalize and be like, oh my God, they're laughing at me because something I did was like embarrassing or they think I'm embarrassing or something like that. But I choose to be like, oh my God, they think I'm hilarious and they're laughing with me because I'm so funny. So I think taking comments and taking hatred, unless they're full on like being hateful, not letting yourself dwell and like sit in a limbo of like, what do they mean by that? It's like, oh, they just love me so much
It's
because
all
I'm
about
great.
perspective.
Yeah, I think just coming at it with a positive light, coming at all of social media with a positive light is very important.
Absolutely. And that kind of led me to the point that I really wanted to make with this episode is like how we protect the next generation, how we protect young girls, our daughters, whatever it is
Mhm.
by modeling that ourselves as with anything in life. So the way that you're approaching it is like, change your perspective. If you act like it's them cheering you on, that's what it's going to seem like. At the end of the day, it's text on screen, it's a picture on the screen. Like, you don't know someone's intentions, you don't know how someone said it, you can't hear their tone of voice. But the way that you react and respond and model that behavior is what those young girls and everything are going to see and
Mhm.
do as well. So I'm sure Josie one day will be like, "You're silly. That was a meanie pants. That was meanie pants. Don't be meanie pants."
Yeah, and I hope she does. And I hope she does. I hope everyone does. Like I think bullying has just taken such a turn. Like obviously it used to be like physical like bullying and then it was like kind of like cyberbullying and I hope we're getting to the point where it's just like bullies are so not cool.
They're just icky.
Yeah. And honestly, bullies don't love themselves.
Correct.
Because I know there's some times that I was mean for no reason, and it's because I wasn't too happy with myself at that moment. So I've been there. I've been on the other end. I've been the meanie pants, and it's because I wasn't too happy with myself. So like, you need to think, oh my God, why are they such a meanie pants?
I am glad you say that because I think just like a life lesson is that a lot of what people say, especially if it's hurtful, is it's reflective. And I mean,
Yeah.
I wish there was more positive reflection, like just and there are some people that go out and they're like, "Oh my God, I love your dress." Like that's just who they are, is like a very positive person and they're very reflective of that. But anything that someone says is a reflection of them. And sometimes it's really hard to swallow. But when you're looking at someone, you're like, wow, this thing really bothers me about them. If you take a look inward, you could probably find yourself doing those same things because it's something that's in your awareness. But I think another thing that's really hard, and I'm surprised we haven't even touched on it yet, is like with the curated feeds and everything, like with AI, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very bad at differentiating what's like a fake video or a fake picture and what's not. And even more scarily, I've seen over the last couple days, there have been like, and they're male, like health functional type people that are pointing out that there's like AI videos of people creating like fake podcast video clips talking to like breastfeeding women or postpartum women or just women in general and giving like this absurd advice on their health and like selling these whatever pills. And it's like, I probably would think that that was real if I came across it.
That is so crazy. I personally don't love it because I think I see two people with the podcast clips saying very outlandish political things that like they never said.
Hmm. And like,
S-
I don't even know if it's people like being impersonated or it's just like fake humans being created giving this advice. Like, it's just wild what can be done.
You know
But I
what?
think that should make us even more cautious.
You know what? Social media AI gets me every time.
What?
Have you seen the TikTok videos where it's like, I'm steak, stop flipping me, sear me on one
No.
side, and then throw me in the oven? I love those. I feel like I
I can't
learned they
say
could
I've
be
seen
lying to
those.
me. You have to go look them up. Everyone go look them up. Because they could be absolutely lying to me, but I feel like they're not. I don't know why I trust them, even though they're yelling at me. But I feel like I learned so much, but I follow I'm listening to a yelling piece of steak on my TikTok for tips and tricks. It gets me every
That's
time.
silly.
It's very silly. They're so funny. It's like, I'm an onion. Rinse me thoroughly before chopping. It's like, oh, okay.
Can't say
I
I've
don't
ever done
know.
that.
I was gonna say I just made that one up. So don't rinse your onion. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Um, but I think AI is going to be an issue. We've always had some sort of like editing with social media and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, I remember, oh God, what was it with you? It was years ago. You were using this one filter on every single video, and it was like a beauty filter. And
Oh, it was
then
probably lashes.
it was like lashes, and it made you look a little tanner and your teeth look a little whiter and all that kind of stuff. But then you were like coming on there and saying like stuff about being natural and loving your body and all that kind of stuff. And I remember I like actually called you out.
You
I said,
called me
take,
out.
I called you out. I said, take the filter off, girl. I see you. But
Even before that, do you remember? I think we were in high school. The Facetune app.
I remember her well and I still use her to this day. I don't really care.
I
I'm
remember the
not preaching
specific
natural beauty right now.
I specifically remember the picture we had taken with Dusty for Thanksgiving. And you
Who were
did do my
they?
makeup, so my makeup did look like that. But I remember you like going in and like drawing a box over each eye and making it more vibrant and like all of these things. And like it was just so sharp and hard lines. And I was like, I think I still have it like archived on my Instagram. But I'm like,
I
why did we
I
do
think it's
that?
still on my Instagram.
So if you're listening, do not go back and look for that picture.
Please go back and look because it is kind of a chuckle. But I still use
Like
the
it if you did
Facetune.
go back.
Yeah. Oh my god, I get like 100 likes on it. No, I still use Facetune.
Did you find it? That's
There it
the one.
is. No, I still use Facetune to this day because there's like certain things like you just want to like, or you got a weird like angle, or you're like, oh, I wish my mascara was just a little bit darker, and you have the means to do so. I'm a big if it makes you feel better, do it. That's
Yeah,
always my philosophy. Now, it's not always my philosophy when it comes to like certain vices, obviously,
right.
but like anything, like I get Botox in my forehead. And I know I preach all this woo woo stuff, and I'm still extremely woo woo. I think you pick your vices when it comes to these things. And one thing that I did not love is that I was starting to get kind of deeper lines on my forehead because I'm very expressive through my eyebrows. And I was like, I just don't want that. So I got it. And I'm happy to share with whoever. And I've shared on here that I've done like the GLP ones and like things like that. But like Instagram doesn't know that, nor will I probably ever will there ever be an appropriate time for me to tell Instagram that. Do you know what I mean?
Especially at this point.
Exactly. Like I'll tell them if they ask. I don't know. But
Mhm.
I'm just a big believer in like do whatever makes you feel better. Like if why would you want to put pictures out there that you're not proud of? Or if you knew you could change something later. I do that too with my hair page where I'll edit those pictures because sometimes I never edit the color. I never edit the color. I just will edit lighting because sometimes the sun is like weirdly set and there's a weird like beam of light and it's like, God, like it's a really good color that I did and I want to put it out there and be proud of it. And I have to edit it. But like, and honestly too, like sometimes the pictures, not to like toot my own horn, but like sometimes the pictures just like do not do it justice. And I get so mad because I can't get a good picture of it.
Hmm.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of the work you're putting out into the world and the way you want to be perceived out into the world. But with that being said, when you see people's perfect work, remind yourself you don't know them and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't
Hmm.
know that I have had a deep wrinkle line on my forehead.
Correct. Do you know that I have many? I also have 11s. I also am getting crow's feet. And then I've also got the smile lines by my mouth because I am an extremely expressive human and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just aging and I have no skincare routine. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one point that I wanted to bring up when you were talking is that like do whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And I agree with that 100%, but I also need to put out the reminder that you are not responsible for how someone perceives your life, your post, your happiness. That is on them. That's another form of reflection. They are unhappy and they don't like something that's on them. That's not on you, and it's not your job to fix that or not share because someone else is mad about it. Like that's on them.
Yes. Yes.
But going back to ways that we can kind of make social media either safer or just like a better experience so this next generation is not growing up feeling the negative effects of social media. Like we said, it starts with like how we're modeling it, but especially when it comes to our bodies, it comes back to a lot of self-talk. And one thing that I can think of, for example, of like just the generations that have come before us, because I really don't think that like it's in our generation much. If it is, it's not people that I hang out with often. But like in our parents' generation and even the one before it in our grandparents' generations, like so many women, like when you get together to get coffee or lunch or whatever, like you see them, you're like, oh, you look great. Like, did you lose weight? Like, what'd you do? And like just praising like weight loss or praising like looking skinny or whatever it is. Like we don't do that often. And I think that's great. Like I love that that's not the first thing that we compliment or notice someone on is like their body weight. But it also comes down to in your home, things that people aren't seeing out in public. Do you body check yourself every time you walk by a mirror? Are you constantly picking apart like how a certain shirt fits or complaining about how you look, complaining about how you feel? Your kids are picking up on that, and that's going to go into how they view themselves. That's going to portray how they post about social media, how they even dress themselves, their confidence levels. So it's really important with the comparison game that we are taking responsibility and being intentional with how we are speaking about ourselves. Because it might not seem like that big of a deal, but they're always watching.
Oh, 100%. And I think to even go back to the weight thing, again, it's not something we really put out there, but I think it can be something that you put out there because I've done it recently where I had a friend who I know, she was trying to lose weight before the wedding, and it's been a little bit since I've seen her. Um, and she's kind of told me that since. And she had also just had a baby. That's why she was trying to like get back down before like a wedding situation. Um, I hadn't seen her. I thought she looked great the last time I saw her, and I told her that after she expressed to me the struggle she was having. To be honest, it was a long time since I saw her, and I saw her again. I didn't really necessarily notice a difference because you don't take into account like, oh, her arm looks bigger at that angle when she does that. Like no one sees, only you see that, of course.
Hmm.
But I said, "Oh my god, you look amazing." Like, you look so good. She's like, oh, thank you so much. I'm back to where I wanted to be. And then, and it just completely made her day.
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily notice she was
What
back.
she's
She was
thinking
wearing
you
a
noticed.
yeah, she's wearing a baggy sweatshirt. Like, I don't notice, but I say it because I know it's something she was striving for and wanting to do. And I say it because I want to make her smile.
And I
Do you know
don't
what I
think there's
mean?
anything wrong with you saying that. Like, even if you didn't notice anything, like, it's not
No.
fake for you to have said that, but it was
No.
intentional with you with your last conversation, and it was something so simple that you chose to do that you knew boosted her confidence for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. And like, I think there's nothing, but I think if you do notice it too, and it's something they've expressed in the past, it's also good to say. But if they've actually like expressed nothing to you, no sort of insecurity, no sort of like anything like that, I think that's just a book that we don't need to ever necessarily touch.
Hmm.
Even if you notice it, if someone drops 70 pounds and you notice it, but they never say one word about it, I think we could all just zip it
Yeah.
because you
And I
don't know
think
why
that
they did that.
I think it also is important to note like the level of relationship that you're at. Cause like if it
Yes.
were my best friend and it's been like a month since I've seen her and now she looks like she's lost 70 pounds, I would be like, hey, are you okay? Like,
Yeah, just like checking in.
yeah. But like if it's someone that you don't know very well and it's been like 9 months since you've seen them and you're like, did you lose weight? Like it doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't.
really
But
doesn't.
I was saying that with the aspect of like I think just teaching the young generation to be kind even when you don't see I don't want to say you don't see a reason for kindness, but like
There's always a reason to
giving
be
a
kind.
exactly. Like just giving a compliment can brighten someone else's day. And I think that's where we should lean into that with social media as well. Because God knows, like, if I'm having like a horrible day or something like that, and it doesn't matter, this person knows nothing about me. But if they say, like, you have a very nice smile, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Mhm.
That makes me just feel good. And if it's only for a
Mhm.
second, it's only for a second. And like, I think just the younger generation should approach social media with kindness.
Absolutely. And I know nowadays, like, social media is different because I wish I could, like, go back. Maybe there's studies on this, but, like, the amount of posts that we're actually seeing on social media that are of the people that we have chosen to follow versus, like, suggested kind of stuff, like, I think that is very different. But I think we also have to remember that we are a little bit in control of the things that we're seeing. So if we're seeing content that like really makes us like think negatively of ourselves and it's like, man, I really just don't want to bring that energy like into my life. Like I'm more than positive there's a way that you can say like, hey, show less of this. And like you can curate your own feed to be something that builds you up rather than tears you down if that's something that you haven't like overcome and like matured with yet, which I think is
Yeah.
great because we have to be in control of that.
My last point is I want to remind everyone, and I feel like the younger generation needs more reminded of this, is there like people live full blown lives without social media and you wouldn't know it. Um, I want to use the example of my husband, and I'm sure your husband as well. The last 3 posts that he's posted has been collaborative posts with me, and it's been our engagement photos, the night before our wedding, and wedding photos. Other than that, like you would think this man dropped off the face of the earth back in like 2020, 2019. But he's actually living the best life. He's living the exact same life that I'm living on my social media. He's with me on all those trips and everything like that, or all those experiences that we have, but you would just never know it. So, like, remind yourself just because it wasn't posted on social media, you still went and you had a good time.
I think that's so funny that you brought up the husbands. Because I just looked at
It's
Tristan's social media because I know he doesn't post next to anything.
I don't
Last
even know
pictures
what
were
Tristan's social media.
um it was a collaborative post. It was our baby shower pictures. The last
Okay.
one before that, our wedding pictures, collaborative post.
Yeah. So, but like, he's going on the trips and like, he's with Josie every day too. And like, you just, social media is just never ever a window into someone's life.
And I can guarantee you if there's pictures of me on a vacation, my husband is definitely at gunpoint and I was just pissed 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Like,
That's
like
just how
Will,
vacations roll.
yeah. Will knows, like, some of the vacation is picture time. Granted, because I want to remember it and I want the pictures to remember it. That's what it really comes down to. But sometimes I want to look really good in front of the Trevi Fountain.
Hmm.
So that's also an obstacle we must run into.
Even if I'm pissed.
Even, and you need to hold my phone with the flashlight while you take the picture on yours in portrait mode. Please zoom out just a little bit.
Get my feet in it.
Like, I need the outfit, but I want my face, but you need to get the background. Like, he has a hard job. No wonder he has no time to post the pictures. No, that's,
He's just out there like sweating slave labor, taking pictures.
he's so good about it too. He really is. He has a good time doing it. But I promise he's okay.
If today's episode stirred something in you, whether it was conviction, awareness, or even discomfort, that's okay. Awareness is the first step toward change. And social media isn't going anywhere, but how we engage with it absolutely can. The way we model self-worth, body respect, and confidence will shape the girls watching us more than any filter ever could. If this conversation resonated, share it with another mom, sister, or friend who cares about raising strong girls. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss future episodes. All of our handles and links can be found in the description. If you like this episode, please be sure to leave us a review as that will help push our show to help more women just like you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week in the Sis Let's Heal podcast.
I'm Steak. Stop flipping me.